As Tyler Bridges started his article in The Advocate, what now? Governor John Bel Edwards' proposed commercial activity tax is dead in this legislative session. At an impromptu news conference, Governor Edwards, a Democrat, said it is now incumbent upon the GOP to come up with a plan to deal with the fiscal cliff July of next year when the clean penny sales tax expires and the state faces a $1.8 billion budget hole. Whatever comes out of this session, changes in the state's budget affect you. That's why the Louisiana Farm Bureau is keeping track of these changes in a segment called Grassroots Government.
I'm Joe Mapes, lobbyist for the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation. I'm here with Vice President for Agriculture of LSU, Bill Richardson. Bill, can you talk to us a little bit today about what's happened with the Ag Center and the Ag Center's budget since 2008 with the economic downturn?
Well, in 2008, we had about a $92 million state appropriation. Today, we got about $63 million. So I've got about $30 million less to use, and we haven't been able to offset that with other revenue streams like some of the campuses do that have students. And so I've had to make some real cuts. And we have 400 fewer people working for me, and we're to the point now where we're having to say, okay, there's some things we just can't do. We have to draw a line in the budget and say, okay, things above this line we can't afford anymore. And so we're in the process now looking at some of our experiment stations, some that we will not close, but we will remission, reduce our resources, our inventory. I can't continue to operate a facility with taxpayer money with one scientist.
Right.
And so we got 2 or 3 of those, and we're going to take a loan. We want to be as efficient with the tax dollars we've got as we possibly can, but it's some tough decisions, and we're going to have to make the tough decisions I get paid to do.
And speaking of money, your budget is 85% based on the state's general fund, is that correct?
We're about 65% based on that, plus we got the federal money with the Land Grant Act of Smith, Levers, Hatch Act, so when we generate the rest of ourselves, but we're more dependent on state revenue, on the state budget than any other element of higher education, so when we get cut a dollar, it hurts worse. We can't offset it with tuition or other things, so we've really had in a pinch, and we're at the mercy of the legislature.
Right.
If they don't do something, then we'll be in another bad situations next year. And I'm to the point now I can't continue to do things we're doing, and it's going to hurt the people. They're going to see the services drop off that they're used to. And best thing to do now is get involved. These things are important to them.
And that's
let
a shame.
The legislator know.
That is a shame. And so you're saying let the legislator know. How is the legislature working with us now on the Ag Center's budget or the whole process? How's that working for us?
A lot of support there for us, and then they're wrestling with this. Nobody wants to raise taxes. Nobody wants to make cuts. They have all these things they like, so we're at a stalemate. And at some point, they're going to have to move off that and determine what's important, what their priorities are, and then what they can fund. So, and we think higher education, the Ag Center, because we're all over the state, something that's real critical to them back home in their districts. We're in every district in the legislature. We're part of every one of them, and so we're encouraging people in those areas. Let your legislator know how important these services are to you because they're in danger of losing them.
And you and I know that letting your legislator know really works because they want to hear from the constituents.
They know I get paid to come down and talk to them, but it's more important if somebody back home who votes for them calls and says or writes them a letter or drops by and say, this is important, I want you to support this, and I'll be watching.
Participating in government has never been easier. On our website, we'll link you to Voter Voice, where you can contact your representatives in government and give input on the issues you care about. And you can also sign up for the weekly Grassroots Government newsletter. To find out more, you can log on to our website at twilatv.org. Coming up, we'll have a look at what's been trending online this week. A new Secretary of Agriculture is in Washington, and it did not take him long to find some controversy.
This week's school lunches are definitely trending on Twyla. We'll serve that up next.